Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Learn with Virali. I'm Virali, your guide on this PMP adventure. If you are new to my channel, I'm Virali, a certified PMP professional helping people to pass their PMP exams on the very first try. So if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to subscribe as it helps me to create more such kind of videos and offer help to the community. In today's video, I'll be answering the most burning question that I get to read about on different community websites wherein I see a lot of PMP preparations are going on in different kinds of PMP groups like LinkedIn, like Reddit and many others wherein people come and ask, will PMP Study Hall actually help me pass my PMP exam? So that is exactly something that I'm addressing today in this video. So stay tuned until the end of the video to gather all the insights and don't forget to drop your questions in the comments below if those are not answered in this video. So let's get started. So before we get started, here is what we are going to be covering in this video. We'll look at why you might want to use Study Hall, we'll explore its features, examine both benefits as well as its limitations, and I'll give you my honest recommendations based on my own experience as well as my students' experience. So now let us address the obvious question like why would you consider the Study Hall? So first and most importantly, it is an official PMI product, which simply means that it directly aligns with the current examination content. So I have listed here an entire table bifurcated in the pros and the cons. So let's look into it one by one. The first thing that I have over here is the question difficulty. So Study Hall is very popular with the amount of difficulty in terms of different questions is quite high. So basically it is gonna show you a harder set of questions than the actual exam, which is definitely gonna help you build your mental stamina while it is preparing you for the worst case scenarios that are gonna happen maybe on your examination day. Other than that, many users also report that the exam fields are gonna be like much more easier set of questions than they practiced on Study Hall. So I would rather put it up in a way like use Study Hall to broaden your understanding with different study scenarios that will be presented to you in the form of different sets of mini exams and the full length mock tests. Whereas I would now move on to the first con that I have, which is the technical issues that is also a popular thing that has been reported by many students and I have also experienced it myself as well. I did download a mobile app that the PMI Study Hall offers, which used to crash instantly. Also, the progress wasn't saved while I would talk about the mobile app. And that was the same again issue that sometimes, not as often, but sometimes it did not save my progress. I had frequent platform crashes and there were other loading issues in regards to mini mock exams as well. So I used to use it along a certain period of time every day, and I think because of the high traffic times it might be having these kind of crashes, but if you're using it on different times relatively like not the same every day, you might have a different opinion on seeing the technical issues. Coming to the second one, considering it as official PMI content, which is definitely the best advantage why people would be offering or opting out for the study hall, that the questions are definitely going to be written by PMI, which is the governing body for the PMP examination or the body who is conducting the PMP exam. Other than that, it is going to be aligned with the current content. Apart from that, it uses the same language style that you would be seeing in your actual exam, and that is how you'll be familiarizing yourself in the way PMI thinks based on the question being asked and the correct answer to be chosen on the other hand. So I would recommend it based on the PMI's question content or the PMI's form of questioning. Second would be the question quality concerns. Now, this has been the most biggest part why you would score less on the study hall exams relatively in comparison to using other simulators for practicing for your PMP exam, which is like some questions are really poorly worded. That is simply gonna cause different kinds of confusions, different kinds of topics might have been re-reviewed again based on the explanations that you see once that question is marked wrong. So there are occasional errors in the answers, there are inconsistent difficulty levels, as most of the time in my PMI study hall part I used to see expert level questions more in relation to advanced or beginner level, which could have been balanced otherwise to make it a more smoother experience overall. Continuing with the pros and the cons again, as I have still more to cover on in regards to using PMI Study Hall to get an exam like experience, which is again gonna be the biggest advantage why somebody would opt for the study hall, as the simulator interface is pretty much gonna be same onto what you will be seeing on your actual exam, wherein you can flag questions, you have a timer by the side to know if you're spending more time or less, and it keeps on going continuously. So that is definitely gonna be added advantage if you try to practice it on study hall, though you will have different simulators which you would try practicing on, but practicing on study hall will give you more broader set of study scenarios or questions that you would need to apply your knowledge on, which is definitely a good practice that you can do for yourself for making yourself ready for the actual exam. Coming towards the cons in regards to content limitations and user experience issues, like definitely as we discussed before, the user interface is pretty clunky, or there are loading issues that people might see, and more importantly, you cannot use it offline. Again, the customer support is also not that great, which could resolve different issues very swiftly. And there are certain content limitations if you compare PMI Study Hall with other simulators like TIA simulator, for example. You would see a huge set of question in terms of question banks, which will be showing you always different set of questions as in how you proceed on to the next exam. Whereas it won't be a case wherein one question is being repeatedly asked in all the exams. So that is something that I saw in the PMI study hall, wherein few of the easy set of questions were always present in the exam, every different exam that I would take based on the mini marks. So here is the common advice based on my experience. Use study hall as one of your resources and not the only one. Please understand the importance of using other resources other than just the study hall. Like you would be using certain courses for your PMP prep times of fulfilling that 35-hour of PDU courses before you go register for the exam. So make sure you utilize different set of resources along with the PMI study hall. Next is take the low scores as the learning opportunities and not otherwise, because it would be very demotivating otherwise, as you would see the amount of scores that you score on different mock exams would be very low, somewhere ranging in 60 to 70% in comparison to what you would be scoring whenever you would be using other simulators, like you'd be getting 85 to 95%. So it is gonna be a huge gap which could cause some setback, lowering your confidence while your PMP exam is approaching. So make sure you take this low scores as the learning opportunity. Next is focus on understanding explanations rather than memorizing answers. 100% never memorize any answer, as memorization is not going to help in passing the PMP exam, as you would not be seeing the exact set of questions that you would be practicing on. So it's better to understand the explanation rather than memorizing the answer. Again, combine the PMI Study Hall practice with other simulators or mock exams that you are comfortable making your preparation a little bit more better. I had an experience of using TIA simulator. It is a simulator offered by Andrew Ramdial, the person who is identified as the best PMP coach, and he has introduced his own simulator under his website, which is tiaexams.com. I'll make sure to put that link in the description below. Please check it out if you are looking for different simulators. I had a fantastic experience using TIA simulator, as the kind of questions that comes up in terms of different mock exams and the full length mocks is pretty similar to what I actually saw in the exam, as it aligns with the kind of questions in terms of the mindset, and most importantly the difficulty level will increase as in how you go. So it is not something like a huge shock starting with the difficult or the most hardest questions at the start, as it gradually prepares you for the difficulty level that would come up later on in different sets of other exams under TIA simulator. So do check it out. I had a very good experience with TIA simulator. And the last sentence over here is the most important one, given by people who have used PMI Study Hall for their exam preparation. If you can handle Study Hall, definitely you can handle your actual PMP exam. Understanding that Study Hall is going to offer more expert level questions, so it is very likely that people would be scoring low or might get frustrated at the end saying that I'm studying so much, why am I not seeing the results? So if you can handle PMI Study Hall, you would definitely be able to handle your actual PMP exam. So now let's look at the platform benefits if you ever decide to go register the PMI Study Hall for extra practice. Now, PMI offers two different versions in regards to practicing for your actual PMP exam. First one is called as Essentials, which is definitely by default selected over here. And the second one we have is called as Plus. So there are different offerings based on Essentials and the Plus, as both of them are different in the price aspect as well. Like Essentials is the cheaper version, which is around 49 US dollars, and the Plus is gonna be a bit more pricier, around $79 US dollars again. So in regards to the practice exam, you would have two full length practice exams, whereas in the Plus version, you would be getting 5 full-length mock exams. Now here, full length is going to contain 175 questions altogether. If we talk about mini practice exams, in the Essentials you would get 15, whereas in the Plus version you would get 5 more, which is ending up to 20. So you'll have 20 mini mock exams in the Plus version. In terms of extra practice, you would have 200 set of questions given to you as an extra practice, but if it is going to be a Plus version, it is going to contain 250 questions. Again, Plus version is going to help you to kind of go through certain premium webinars, which is definitely something that people don't often have time for, as they'll be working full time and then preparing for their exam. So it might not always be the case that you will be able to attend the webinars conducted or presented over this PMI's website. Other than that, the learning paths, lesson plans, videos, flashcards, and the games and the activities are typically gonna be the same if you compare the Essentials and the Plus version. I had purchased the Essential version, which was around 49 US dollars as listed over here. And I definitely did practice different exams, whether it was mini mocks or the full length mocks, and did score pretty bad, which definitely demotivated me to some extent, but I was able to cope up with the explanations that I had to go through for the questions that I did wrong. So take it as a learning opportunity again. So now let's have a look on interface and its features. Study Hall's interface is actually designed to mimic the actual PMP exam environment. So you get clean, uncluttered interface with essential functionalities like timer functionality and question flagging. You can review these questions later on as you don't want to spend more time on one question and leave the other questions. So you can review those questions by flagging them, and these functionalities often help to reduce the actual exam day anxiety, as you are now familiar that my examination interface is going to be pretty similar to what I see on PMI's study hall simulator exam. Type of questions you will encounter. So study hall covers all bases within like situational questions that test your judgmental skills, formula based questions for EVM and other calculations, which is like earned value management aspect. Next you have is agile and hybrid scenarios, which are crucial for the actual PMP exam, as like most of the companies recently are working on applying those agile and hybrid working models. Next is it does contain questions from the ITTO's application perspectives. Also, it contains real world scenarios that mirror the project challenges. Now, what sets these questions apart is their complexity level. So they are often more challenging than the actual exam. So that is the catch when we talk about the type of questions that you will see on the study hall. So now let us talk about the benefits of study hall. The benefits are significant as you have questions that are typically harder than the actual exam, though you get detailed explanations for every answer choice that you make, like why this answer is correct, why this answer is incorrect, or why this option choice does not align with the question that is being framed or the question challenge that you are supposed to solve. It does contain comprehensive performance analytics with a clear identification of knowledge gaps that is going to help you to review those topics again, which are listed there in the performance analytics, making an authentic examination like experience. It is gonna help you to stay on track, as it is gonna monitor your progress and give you notifications after certain intervals of time. Talk about my favorite feature from PMI Study Hall, which is about performance analytics. So the analytics feature here is particularly powerful with different things that it has to offer. Like you can track your overall score and the progress. You can see how you perform in each knowledge area while monitoring your time management skills, and then you can analyze your strength and the weakness and adjust your study plan based on the areas that you need to kind of refer more on, or typically based on your performance. So this data driven approach is going to help you to study smarter and not just a hard work. Okay, so to get the best out of the study hall, follow this particular best practices that I have over here based on my experience. Start early, that is definitely gonna give you some time to work through different topics along with the technical issues. Second, begin with mini exams to build your confidence. And most importantly, don't just look at the right and the wrong. Review all explanations thoroughly. Keep a track of your performance trends and remember that this is just one tool in your study arsenal that is going to help you to maximize your value of using the study hall's subscription. So finally, is study hall worth it? Let me break it down from different perspectives like value for money, time investment, and the learning experience. So first, value for money, definitely it is valuable in terms of you spend, let's say, $49, as in the 49 US dollars, you would be investing a huge amount of money if you are doing it based out of different geographies, whether it is in India or other countries which are going to be seeing a much higher aspect of paying this value on. So I would say it is going to be in line with the price from other simulators, but you get official PMI content which is going to justify the learning cost. In terms of exam preparations, you would be seeing questions which are typically harder than the actual exam, thereby helping you build your mental stamina, preparing you for the worst case scenarios. Talking about time investment, it is definitely gonna help you to plan for dedicated study blocks based on your strength as well as your weaknesses, as you would be spending some time reviewing explanations thoroughly based on different option choices that are presented in different question sets. So that is something worth considering for. So I would say the time investment is not at all going to be wasted. Coming towards technical issues, it might require extra patience. And talking about learning experience, I would say it is going to be excellent for understanding the PMI's mindset. Strong analytics is going to help you focus your studies based on different topics that you would need to review back and forth. And technical frustrations are a trade-off for the official content. So my verdict, yes, it is definitely worth it, but as a part of combined strategy and not the only resource that you are going to be using for getting ready for your actual exam. So if you found this insightful or helpful in any way, please hit that like button and subscribe, as it helps me to reach out more people just like you. Drop your questions in the comment section below and I'll answer them as soon as possible. You can reach out to me in case if you are looking for one-on-one preparations on the given email, which is learnwithvirali@gmail.com. Thank you for watching and happy studying.